There are many who can argue that this is one of the worst craps they have ever seen, while I can argue to other people, then how did you expect it to end? And no, I'm not saying that in the traditional fairy tale way and all that stuff. No, I'm asking in a way that if she had defeated her, you would have complained. If she hadn't defeated her, I would have complained. And if anything else, this defeat makes total and complete sense. You just have to look at it in a different angle. The Angry Anime Fan, here is the Fairy Tail Final Seasons, episode 38. What basically happened is Irene's defeat, but not exactly on how people believed it. Or did they? Well, again, people have different opinions on this. Despite being so heavily wounded, Ersa actually managed to ram through the meteor and cut it in half despite what is presumed to be broken bones. Which, again, I can agree that how does that even make sense? But then I think about it and realize, oh yeah, sense is for chumps. We should never have sense. It was actually what hinders us as human beings. And also the fact that, again, I'm pretty sure that Ersa's durability is that of a dragon's, even if she is human. Yeah, and even though, but the fact that she can even slash Irene even after all of this, as Irene reverts back into a human, is kind of extreme. It is meant to create that high emotional tension where you just seems like, why won't you just die moment. But I'm not really 100% sure if it works here, but I understand what they were trying to do. In the end, though, Ersa still falls down, even though she still managed to smile and give one headbutt. Eventually, though, Irene takes a sword that Ersa dropped and stabs herself. And here is where I think a lot of people would complain. I think they would say, oh yeah, that's how it is. The most powerful woman just commits suicide. But as I said before, this defeat makes total sense, because if you think about it, if Ersa had defeated her, the people wouldn't have stopped complaining about saying that that is not logic or anything else. So if you think about it, the strongest woman killing herself, that makes perfect sense, because she is the strongest woman. Therefore, only she can kill herself. It is the only real logic in it all. But the truth of the matter is that the reason why she killed herself is, in the end, she did love Ersa. When she gave birth to Ersa, she wanted to enchant herself into the baby. But once she saw Ersa's smile, she just couldn't, and abandoned her at an orphanage. How a lot of people can take this scene, well, that's many different values, but I have to admit, the sad and beautiful fairy tale tune that always plays in these sort of moments actually makes this scene feel a lot better than it does in the manga. It makes it feel a little bit more like you can truly see or sense Irene's despair. This was a woman who was pitiable and had an extremely harsh life. And in the end, she truly did love Ersa. The music that sells this in the moment, I feel like that works. And then Irene dies, as Ersa can only say, farewell, mother. And finally, she also comforts Wendy when she says that Makarov may have died. And with Irene's death, her Universe 1 is being reversed. And everyone ends up back into the place, as well as the transformed Hisue, the princess of Fiore. Elsewhere, however, Natsu finally awakens after having a last chat with his subconsciousness, with his Igneel, asking him, what is he? Is he a demon or is he a dragon? But Natsu, remembering all the time of Fairy Tail, which once again sets in the very beautiful Fairy Tail score, says he is human. Saying that is the true answer, the seed of the dragon and the demon merge into one and become more in union. With that, the apparition of Igneel says that now he can walk his own two steps and he is not going to die. which again, a lot of people can complain about that, but it also makes sense because in the end, you have your choices in life, and if you cannot choose, you will die. Therefore, the only choice you can make is who you really are, and what Natsu is human. So he awakens, and of course questions why Lucy is naked, or half naked at least. But I mean, she has nothing on the top, but she has under. But as the Universe 1 kicks in and Lucy has wrapped herself in the blanket, Natsu, Happy, and Lucy, appropriately enough, actually end up in Lucy's room. It's a little bit of a final nod to this journey. They always hang out in Lucy's room, and now they hang out there again to travel to Seraph so they can end this disaster, which is the war, I mean. With that, the episode ends. Well, again, this feels a lot better than the manga chapters, but I also can understand why people would complain about this. But the music score that is played actually does make these emotional moments feel emotional. And I feel like they work very well. And if people say that it doesn't make sense, then I'm just saying again, it is fiction. It is not meant to make sense. And if that is not a good enough excuse to you, then there is always a deep amount of sense in there. You just have to look at it in a different angle. Irene was too strong to be defeated by anyone, so she defeated herself. That makes total sense. And Natsu was had both a dragon seed and a demon seed in it all. So basically he could kill them off, but he couldn't die as a human because he is human. That also makes sense. It also is the fact that he had a choice. In life, every people have a choice. And if you can't make the choice, then your life can make you almost commit suicide yourself. And that is not what he did. He made a choice. He's human. Therefore, that makes sense. But you can argue all about that if you want. Not really. But give me your thoughts if you have any.